All right, so right now I'm halfway through my boot camp. I'm on week 7, and got a lot of material that's been covered. Right now, I'm working through React. So I'm just going to cover off to kind of help anyone else who's thinking about doing a boot camp to give them an idea of like what the first 5 weeks looks like, and then what midterms were like. So week 1 through 5 was basically a lot of JavaScript. So the week 1 through 2 was where we did it the most. So we did objects and arrays, methods. Learned all about ES6, asynchronous code with promises, connecting to APIs. That were all introduced in the first few weeks. And then we also did networking. So we made like a little snake game where we could go and play snake together. So we learned about TCP connections, HTTP, and we also learned about database design with normal for, or also SQL. We learned about SQL, queries, insert statements, and along the way, so the tempo of the program is very much Wednesday and Thursday are the heavier days in the week, and Monday, Friday are a little lighter. So, and then every week finishes with a test that tests you not necessarily on just the stuff you did for that week, but also for the things that you've done in previous weeks. So some concepts like that are, it was very much, so far has been very much about just visual JavaScript. They might throw like some stretch questions at you for like recursion, maybe applying recursion to a problem. So yeah, so that was, it's a test every week. And then it's the pace of everything is very fast. You cover, but then you also review it. Like it's needed. Like these things build on each other. So it's not just like you learn it and forget about it. Like even right now, that's most apparent right now. Like I'm on day 3 of learning React, and all of the JavaScript stuff that I've learned and all of the ES6 shortcuts and things like that, or like syntax, the ES6 syntax is all coming into application here, where I'm using like short circuiting because I can't use like if statements inside JSX, or like template literals and all this other stuff. Basically ES6 is being used very heavily in React. So it's been a lot of fun, but the midterms is when week 6 happens. So what happens for midterms is you're put into a team of 3 randomly, and you choose from an assignment of 10 different assignments. And you have 1 week with your team, no other work is assigned, and you have the whole week with your team to develop a web app with everything you've learned to date. And there's one other thing I forgot. So a really great component of the weeks through 1 through 5 is also that you're included in those weeks is in things that you work through as part of the material are projects. So these projects, so the first one is called Tiny App, where we build it's Tiny App. So basically a user can come in to your application, they log in or they register, and then they can put in a long URL, and our application will provide them with a short URL. So that was great for learning about cookies, assigning cookies to a user, controlling like the different the routes and protecting them, making sure that users couldn't go into other users' profiles and things like that. So that was a really great exercise. And when you after you submitted it, it has to get reviewed and pass an assessment. And the assessment comes back with a ton of feedback. I think they must be spending at least an hour on your submissions, just reviewing everything, letting you know about, okay, like you could have broken these functions out into a helper file to like kind of like clean up your code. You should add more comments. You should do more git commits. And that's another thing we learned. So there's so much. We also learned all about the Git, GitHub, and how to push and pull, and that's really where Midterms came into, because now we're collaborating with two other people, so we have to coordinate our Git pushes and pulls, and have multiple branches for different features. So that's where we really learned how to work together on the midterm. So what was the midterm like? So my team and I decided to do a smart to-do list. So that was a very API intensive project where users could log in, and they'd have a to-do list with 4 categories. And when they typed in their to-do, it would automatically sort based on the category. Like the application would reach out to APIs to check if that API thought that it belonged to their category. So say like a movie API, if it found the name of a movie for the user's input, then it would categorize that user's input under movie. And then the other layer to the project is just if, like say Harry Potter couldn't be both a movie and a TV a book, so the user can with jQuery we drag and drop the users into a different row so that they can sort it for themselves. So that was using different jQuery methods, using the Ajax post request, and that's some more stuff we learned. We learned about jQuery, doing the Tiny app, and we also learned about EJS, which is like a template language for basically like HTML, but you can inject JavaScript into it, and so it's very useful for rendering those lists of different categories. So that was week 6 for the midterms, and it went really well. But now I'm on to week 7, so that's all React. So learning React is so far, like I said, it's just a lot of learning a new framework. So just kind of understanding where React comes in to help you with its different methods, how to use all those methods to get what you want. It's very component based. So you build basically from the bottom up. You build your components, and you feed those components with props, and those props have to drill down into the base components where they're needed. And it's been very interesting. I'm only on day 3. I'm staring at the material for today. It's about 9 hours. So today is Wednesday, so it's a lot of it's about 9 hours of material to cover. And the lecturer and the mentors that you can call on to during if you get stuck with a problem, there's also mentor support. So you click a button on their webpage, and it prompts a mentor to connect with you, and you can ask them questions about what you're working on and like any feedback. But I've gotten to talk to some of them, and they all told me that React Week is one of the tougher weeks. So yeah, I can definitely see that, because you have to apply so much of what you've already learned to this. So there's lots of layers to it. So it's basically a quick summary of week 1 through 6, pretty much, and a little bit of where I'm at right now with week 7. And hopefully, so I see the comments from Nirvana, and so yeah, if that helped you, let me know. If you want any other questions, just drop it in the comments section, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have. Okay, thanks. Wish me luck. Bye.